This is Struggling to Succeed. In this episode, we'll be discussing Ray Dalio's book, Principles. Ray Dalio's book, Principles. Well, before I discuss my top 3 takeaways, let's have a quick conversation around who Ray Dalio is. Ray Dalio created a company in the 70s called Bridgewater, and that company has gone on to be one of the most successful fund and investment companies on planet Earth. Ray Dalio and his organization successfully navigated the 2008-2009 financial crash, and that really propelled him into the marketplace beyond investments and fund management into the public eye of being a very astute and intelligent entrepreneur, business owner, and investor. His book, Principles, came out last year in 2017, and I finally got a chance to read it over the last month or so. It is a 600-page book. It's a big chunk of a book that is split into 3 novels, so to speak, or 3 books within one. The first part is about where he's coming from and his life. It's like a mini autobiography. And then the second 2 parts are his life principles and his work principles. Some of the stuff in this book was absolutely fantastic. I thought it was gold, a lot of the information in it, and I'm not going to do a full review here because I don't think I would be able to do it justice. It would probably take me to writing another book just to talk about all the principles and wisdom that Ray Dalio talks about in his book Principles. But I wanted to, in this video, share my top 3 takeaways. The 3 areas that really struck a chord with me and left me thinking and pondering for a long time after first coming across them in his book. Life struggles. That is my first takeaway from Ray Dalio's book. In the first chapter or so, or chapters, when he talks about where he's coming from, he really gets into detail about the amount of failures and struggles that he has had to overcome to get to the success that he's at today. And even at the end of the book, he still talks about his current struggles around passing the business on for other people to be operating in it so he can step aside. Now, for me, that shatters the grand illusion that a lot of people have, that they think once you make it, you're on easy breezy street. Once you make your million or your billions, you just lie back and you enjoy the world sipping pina coladas on a beach somewhere. And I've found through my own failures and faults and trying to get up and succeeding and failing and going through this sort of like cycle, that's not true. That it doesn't matter where you are in your life, you will always have a new goal that you're struggling to succeed at. And that really resonated with me. Obviously, the name of my channel and my philosophy is struggling to the next success, struggling to succeed. And Ray Dalio has succeeded, but yet he's still struggling in certain areas. And I love that. I really, really love that. I drew a lot of inspiration from that and a lot of hope, because this is a top entrepreneur and business person basically spelling out that his life has been a continual cycle of new goal, struggle to goal, look at the problems, and then cycle through to success, and then start that loop again. So you're constantly on that struggling to succeed loop of finding something to succeed at, struggling to get there, identifying the problems, sorting out how you're going to succeed, and then moving on and going to the next one. Absolutely brilliant. And a lot of inspiration for me reading that from somebody who has done so well in their life. The second major takeaway that I want to talk about is Ray Dalio's 5-step process for achieving goals. Now, he released this a number of years ago because he's been giving out principles and ideas from Bridgewater for a while now, as he's very much into sharing the information so people can succeed in other businesses. He set his business up in a way that a lot of people want to emulate that, and he is very open source, in my opinion, about letting other people see inside the workings of the engine that is Bridgewater and the engine of what his mind is and what his high-level team of executives have come up with to succeed in their environments. The 5-step process is fairly simple. Step 1, set goals. Step 2, Identify and don't tolerate problems. Step 3. Diagnose the problems to the root cause. Step 4. Design a plan for eliminating those problems. Step 5. Do what is set out in the plan. I'm going to start setting myself goals and using this 5-step process and see how it works for me. Because currently, I kind of use a wishy-washy, set some goals, and then see the end, and then work back to the beginning on what can I do today to eventually get to that success. Now, that's an okay plan, but I don't have like a little system, like a loop that allows me to work through it, like Ray Dalio points out, where you set the goal, you identify the problems, you don't tolerate problems, you move by them, you stick to the plan, and then you keep going around. It's a very well thought out and structured idea around how to achieve a goal, and I'm going to try to implement that in many areas of my life. Now, he goes into much greater detail in the book, and I could probably do a 30-minute long video just talking about this 5-step process and how he sets it out, and his thoughts about how different people are better at different areas of the 5-step process. Maybe I'll do a video later on that, but let's move on to the next point now. I wanted to finish on the third point that really, really hit home for me. Now, they're all kind of in the same mold. There's a certain kind of stoic philosophy or struggling to succeed thread running through the 3 areas that I really find motivating or resonated with. And the last one is one of sort of a little saying or a little equation that he references a number of times in the book. Very, very simple. Pain plus reflection equals progress. Pain plus reflection equals progress. What a really great way, or fantastic way, awesome way to break down how you move forward in your life. You have a pain point, you reflect on it, you come up with a plan or take the best bits from that, see what you can do better through good reflection, and then that equals progress because you can move on. If you're having pain points and you're not reflecting on what you could do, what you could have done better, what it makes possible, that pain, or where you could have improved, if you're not looking into your pain points, you're not progressing because you're not taking the gold out of those events in your life that are showing you a better way. Every negative event in my life, every pain point in my life has taught me something fantastic. And looking back at every major issue in my life now, I count them as blessings. Now, I haven't had the similar kind of massive failures or massive struggles that Ray Dalio has gone through. He has made some very public mistakes early on in his career trying to predict the markets, and he has learned from those. However, those pain points, when you read the book, if he hadn't have reflected on them, he wouldn't have been able to make progress, which then wouldn't have led him to probably his greatest success, or Bridgewater's greatest success, which is navigating the massive crash in 2008 and 2009. So pain plus reflection equals progress. This also resonates with me, as if you've watched one or two of my other videos, I do talk about stoicism a little bit, and I feel this just slots straight in to a stoic philosophical approach, looking at areas in your life that have pain from them, reflecting on them, and then taking the best bits and progressing forward. Being almost indifferent about what's happening to you and looking for the gold and the wisdom that you can use to help you next time when a similar situation or even a completely different situation happens, but your mind goes straight to, where's the gold? Where's the opportunity? Where's my chance to improve because of this negative or painful event? You can probably tell by the enthusiasm throughout the video for the 3 takeaways that I really enjoyed Ray Dalio's book, Principles. I would definitely recommend you purchasing it, even if you're not a high-level executive or an entrepreneur, if you're a mid-level manager, or even if you're somebody who has no idea about an executive or high-level managers think, this book is a set of principles, not only for life, but for work, that can really give you a peek behind the curtain of how top organizations and high-level thinking is done. And I'm hoping that this book will help me progress forward in my own entrepreneurial projects and my own projects within the environments that I currently work. All I can do is put the information to practice and see what results I can get from it. That's it from me this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please go ahead and hit that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you can follow along and get lots more content on my struggling to succeed journey. My mission here is to deliver bite-sized videos full of tips, techniques, and strategies that can hopefully help you start your journey of success. Thanks very much for watching. Hope to see you next week. And as always, make it a good one.